Drivers of the most polluting vehicles in central London are going to be hit with a new daily charge of £21.50. The new so-called T charge is being brought forward in October and will run on weekdays from 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening. And joining us now from central London is the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan, thank you very much indeed for being with us. £21.50, that's quite a hefty whack, and it will hit everybody with it, including people who maybe can't afford to get rid of their diesel cars.
Well, it's worth me explaining the context, which is that each year in London, over 9,000 people die prematurely because of the poor quality air. Across the country, by the way, it's more than 40,000 premature deaths. There are children in parts of London whose lungs are defective. There are more than 430 schools in areas where the air is illegal, and I'm willing to stand by while that carries on. So what I've announced today is to build on the new T charge that comes in this October. So from April 2019, we hope to have the world's first ultra-low emission zone. So unless your vehicle abides by strict emission standards, if you want to come into central London, you'll pay a higher charge. And I'm saying to the government, it's really important that you support me by introducing a national diesel scrappage scheme that helps people move away from diesel vehicles to cleaner forms of transport.
Would you honestly say that you are the friend of the motorists in London? I mean, really, one gets the impression in London, with the traffic snarled up, with the empty buses, with the roadworks, that frankly the authorities running London are trying to make it as difficult as possible for people who want to drive in London.
Well, our population is 8.6 million and growing. We've got to be a bit more savvy and intelligent how we move people around, which is why I've frozen TfL Transport for London fares over the next 4 years to encourage more people to use public transport. Next year and the year after, the new Elizabeth line begins increasing public transport capacity by more than 10%. But I recognise that congestion is a huge problem in London. One of the reasons is because of the rise of the minicab in London, more than 110,000. I've got no powers to cap them. I'm saying to the government to give me the powers to cap them. Another reason is the way people shop now has changed, with delivery vehicles driving across London. I'm doing all that I can to alleviate congestion in London. In the meantime, what I'm doing is making sure we clean up the air in London, because at the moment it is lethal. I'm doing all that I can, but the government needs to do much, much more. It will lead to improvements in health, but also lead to improvements in productivity too.
Your predecessor as Labour Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone, is facing a disciplinary verdict this evening, which could lead to him being expelled from the Labour Party. Looking back, how do you feel about Ken Livingstone and his legacy in Labour politics?
Well, I'm quite clear in my mind. There should be no place for anti-Semitism. Not just in the Labour Party, but anywhere in our society. Racism is racism, it has no hierarchy, and so the NEC are making their decision, and they've seen the evidence, I haven't, and they'll make their decision and they'll make it known public later on today.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.